Hey guys, 360 Shop Blog and Roll, and today I am giving you a small little look at a little makeup tutorial I'm going to do for my 4th of July look. I'm in a little bit of a navy tie-dye thing today because that's what I brought with me. It's super hot where I am in California. I think the high day is 110. So I am prepared for a little bit of heat, and what I'm doing today is showing you a really simple way to throw on some makeup that is not heavy duty and will last and won't be one of those things that looks really caked on. So I usually don't wear a ton of foundation anyway, but one of the things I like to focus on is eyes and eyelashes, so you'll see that a lot today. Also, what I'm trying today is trying the view of mirrors. There's about 3 right here. I've got one on my side, one behind me or in front of me, depending on where you're looking, and then one over here on the side. So you may be a little bit dizzy. We'll see how this turns out. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to just start putting it on, and I'll give you details in the description, but a lot of people like to use a brown eyeliner for eyes or black. I actually like to use a lip liner. I use a color that's sort of in the raisin family. This is actually a Revlon Raisin, and I'm just going to use actually this mirror right here, put this on, and show you how simple it is to get that look. It looks much more natural than like a solid black or brown, and for my eye colors, I have brown eyes and pretty dark brown eyes, and what you always want to do is find ways to kind of lighten and make it look less heavy for a natural summer look. And as you notice, I don't put a ton of stuff on. What I'm going to use for my base after I throw this on is just a little bit of a light shimmer powder. I actually just use the top, and if there's not enough, I use the outside of the makeup bottle. Throw that on just to kind of cover any pores. Not very much, because why? It's too hot. Alright. Got that on. A little bit of a shimmer look. You can't tell a huge difference, but I can when I put other layers on. That's done. I'm using a Sephora color called Charmed, number 27. Blush. I use a contour blush brush. I go underneath the cheekbone, and then I blur it in at the top. Pretty easy. I also add it on the top and underneath part of my chin, just to make sure there's some definition. This is the lightest way you could put on makeup. It's seriously what I do every day because I don't have that kind of time. Now, eyebrows and eyes. I told you this is what I'm focusing on today. I'm actually using a brown pencil just to fill in a little bit so there's some depth here. Recently got my eyebrows threaded, and the lady did a great job. But usually when you get a fresh thread, you have to kind of do a little bit of filling in if you have pieces that got you're trying to fill in some gaps. I like thicker looking eyebrows. The back of this brush is awesome. It's a Maybelline Definer Brow, and it's got a little bit of a comb at the end, so you just kind of make sure you comb up that particular brown or whatever color you use for your eyebrows. Comb it in. Make sure it spreads because that's what helps it look more natural, and the comb does a great job of acting like a almost like a glue to the hair follicles on your brows, so it sticks on it naturally rather than brushing it in or using a finger or a Q-tip. Alright, brows done. Next step, lips are a huge deal for me, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm using this is brow gel by Estee Lauder. It's called Brow Now. Pretty nice. What it does is basically seal in all that work you did with like a clearish, but this has a little brown tint to it. But it's a liquid gel that kind of makes it look more natural. As you can see, my eyebrows just look less combed. They look kind of pieced, which is what you want, a little bit more of a natural look. Alright. Now for lips, this is something I really enjoy doing. I've tried a lot of mattes, and this one I actually like the color the most. This is actually from Wish.com. I tried this for $1, guys. Ultra Smooth Lip Cream Palette. The number is 452. I can send you the link to Wish.com, but they have tons of stuff. You have to not be looking for things, and when you find something you want to try for $1 or $2, you should pull the trigger. It's really fun. Alright, throwing this on. One of the things that's fun about matte lipstick, and it's also challenging, is you have to make sure you get it the way the first layer, get the colors the way you want it, because it dries really fast. So once it's dry, you don't have a ton of time to fool with it. Alright, we're almost done. Mascara. I'm using today Voluminous Black Carbon Black. This is probably one of my lifelong mascaras I use. It's kind of the one that's always in my bag, and I like it because it doesn't take a ton to get the right layer you want and the right sort of length that you're looking for. One of the tricks though about mascara, if you're looking for a really long look, is do it in layers. Don't go the first layer and add a ton and cake in. You want to just slowly let it dry, come back to it in 5 minutes if you've got the time, and then add another layer. I'm only going to do one layer today to just show you the kind of how easy it is to get that drama effect you want. open your eyes up. And you see, you can tell now that you've done like a dark black on a red liner or a raisin colored mauve liner on your eyes, it just adds a little bit less of that, like I said, deep looking, really heavy feeling makeup, and it's just it's a nice change. I like to do it in the summer. In the winter time though, I do use a ton of basic brown or brown black pencils for my eyes because I just want a little bit more of a dramatic look. Okay, not bad, pretty simple, and this is what I would do pretty much every day in the summer. I know you're not supposed to do this, but I just dab mine a little bit and make sure I wipe my eyes and make sure it's nice and moist. Get off all of those extra pieces of layer. Wipe it off. I probably wouldn't recommend doing that at home, but if you're comfortable doing it with your own eyes, do not do that with somebody else's. Voila. And as you can see, the last thing I did there is I actually take my fingers. I use the tops of my pointer fingers, and I actually just press up and make it act as a curler once I've set in that mascara. There's only a few, like I said, you didn't see a ton of layer of mascara there, but what it does is if you have it light enough, you can make it flexible. Your eyebrows aren't, or your eyelashes aren't heavy and caked in, which is not what we want. We don't want spiders. We don't want spider fingers or on our eyes. We just want eyelashes that look nice and flexible and really healthy. So that's my summer makeup. This is my July 4th look. Hope you had fun and hope you learned something.